Today I'm going to show you examples for how to do problem number 1, and then you're going to do problem number 2 for classwork. So let's get started. The first thing is to look and see whether I am multiplying or dividing. Remember, for multiplying and dividing, I'm going to use the axes. And for addition and subtraction, I'm going to use the number line. So go ahead and draw those on there to remind yourself what you're going to do. So let's start off with the multiplication and division. The first thing we have to do is figure out whether or not each of these is positive or negative. And I can use the same rules for each. So here I have a negative and a positive, and if I look on the poster I can see that's a negative. Here a negative times a negative is a positive. Here a negative divided by a positive follows the exact same rules, that's going to be negative. A negative divided by a negative is going to be positive. Once I do that, I just figure out what each of these absolute values is when it's multiplied or divided. So whatever 4 times 6 is, I'm going to count by 6 4 times, 6, 12, 18, 24. And my answer is negative 24. Same idea here. I can count by either 3 or 4. Let's do 3. Let's do 4. Mix it up a little. 4, 8, 12. That was 3 times. And my answer is positive 12. It is also okay to just write that as normal 12. Here, if I'm dividing, the 4 is the number I'm counting by. I'm going to count by 4, so plus 4, 8, 12, 16. Stop when I get to 16, and this was 4 times, so that is my answer. Over here I'm counting by 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Stop at 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. My answer is positive 6 or just 6. For addition and subtraction, remember I'm using the number line. So if I have addition, then that's all good. I just look at this first number. This is positive 4, so I'm going to write 4 positives. This is negative 3, so I'm going to go back the other way with 3 negatives. Circle 0 pairs, and I can see that I have 1 positive left over. Here, 2 negatives, and then I'm going to write 4 more negatives. So that's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 positives. For the last ones, the key thing is that whenever I see subtraction, I automatically rewrite this as adding the opposite. However, it's really, really important that I don't just write it like this. I don't just change it to 6 plus 5. That's not correct. Not correct. Bad. Because taking away positive 5, so taking away 5 positive kickboard points, is not the same thing as adding 5 positive kickboard points. It's the same as adding negative 5 kickboard points. Here, taking away positives and adding negatives, that's what's the same thing. So when I don't just change subtraction to addition, I change subtraction to adding the opposite. Minus positive 5 becomes plus negative 5. And at that point, now that it's a plus, I can just write it just like I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Positive 1 again. And then here, again, if I see subtraction, I'm going to change it. So I leave the negative 2 the same, but taking away negative kickboard points is good. So that's the same thing as adding positive kickboard points. So 2 negatives plus 4 positives, and I can see that my answer is positive 2. Oh, and I messed this one up. 6 negatives, so that should have been negative 6 at the end there. Let's make sure, yep, that was negatives. Positive, positive, positive.